In
Okay.
terms of acquisition, kind of to answer your question directly, the second thing I listed was really just establishing as quickly as possible what my customer acquisition cost is on Facebook and Google, and then just starting to refine that over the winter. And it's gonna be challenging because I know I'm going against the tide of demand as I'm in like October, November, December, but I can refine it. And that's why I encourage anyone, if you're starting a business, like instead of trying to do 30 things, like I know enough about Facebook and Google to know we can do well, and just refining it. So like split testing, what works better than another, what happens if I change the copy, what happens if I change the offer, what happens if I change the picture, what happens if I use video, what happens if I say the name of the neighborhood versus not. Like these are all little things that you can just keep tweaking and tweaking and tweaking. And if you give me 12 to 14 months or 12 to 14 weeks, I think we can refine it enough where when spring rush hits, I know I have a method that works. And so just establishing that, I think a lot of people test so many things, it's hard to do lead attribution. They don't get clear numbers. They don't really have confidence that this is how much I spend to get a customer. And so I've just got to establish that first and foremost. But uh, Facebook and Google will be where I spend probably 95+% of our marketing budget.
And when you say Google, are you talking LSA and Google Ads?
Well, by that time, it will be the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I would include both of those in there. I'm obviously trying to max out LSA as it currently stands in its format. Once it goes into PMax or Performance Max inside Google Ads, we have a lot of experience, fortunately, using PMax, and we don't think it's actually going to change a lot for our workflow. So it won't change much. But yes, now you'll be able to max more on the PMax budget.
When you think about LSA, will you run LSA? There's not really a listing for fertilization weed control, so you're just going to buy lawn mowing leads. Is that the idea?
And then increase the gears for the cross sell.
Okay, and then on the Google Ads side, I assume you'll run ad copy for both services and buy all kinds of keywords. Is that the gist of the idea? It's
going to be like gateway service for mowing. We can get a way lower customer acquisition cost typically.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm really interested to see how it works more like December and January when the grass is not growing, but there might be weeds. So that's, again, something I have to learn, where I might pivot towards some more fertilization type of ads. But generally speaking, I can get a mowing customer much cheaper, and then either on our instant quote forms or just after the sale, try to sell them the second service.
When you're doing Google Ads, do you create different landing pages for the different keywords, or do you just drive everybody to the same landing page for mowing or for fertilization weed control? How do you think about that kind of stuff? We
usually just do it to one, mostly because I have seen the juice being much more on how I'm setting up the campaign instead of where they're going. And like I can see some results when we've changed out landing pages, but more if I just optimize my campaign, whether it be on Facebook or Google, where I'm driving it has usually lower returns of the time that I spent on like creating better creative or testing different creative or focusing on PMax specifically. Like you can do images and do video now on YouTube. And so usually I find more juice to squeeze there, but we are not doing landing pages. We just drive them to our main website. From there, they can choose different services on instant quote form. And so in the past, I probably would have done different landing pages. And we still do have landing pages where on every site you can make a different like landing page form type situation. But now we have where they can choose multiple services from the same form. And so we just drive them to our main website. It also helps with just getting a lot of traffic to your site because for retargeting. And so there's several reasons why sometimes I'm willing to put some money into it, drive a lot of traffic, and then retarget them afterwards, because the retargeting is where I can really get a great customer acquisition cost. And so they're just slightly interested and click on my ad. Then I go after them hardcore later on. I can call them out a little bit better because I know they've at least visited the site.
So just to make sure I'm understanding, you're saying that in the past you've driven some of your traffic straight to a landing page, but the returns for the effort haven't necessarily been there. So you just spend all your time on the front end, getting the creative, the ad, everything right to even get them to click. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Mostly the real reason though is we recently made it where on the instant quote form, they can choose more than one service.
Right.
In the past, they'd choose one and it was like an upsell kind of like at the end. Whereas now, right from the get, they can I want mowing and fertilization, and immediately it just shows the prices for both. And so the flow is now where I'm confident I can just drive traffic all in one spot. And then that way too, if someone clicks on the ad, they don't want fertilization, they might still accept my mowing. or vice versa if I'm
Sure.
advertising a different service. I've found when I do landing pages for a specific service, it does do better, but I also am losing out on the occasional person that might not accept that service, but they'll accept another one. But because I'm so focused on this funnel, I lose out on that free lead.
Yeah. I'm curious about this, and I ask for everybody listening, but also for myself, because I don't know where the diminishing returns on this are, but I will say with absolute certainty in the service autopilot world, if I was going to drive you from an ad and that ad was something around hypothetically estimating, and I drove you to a landing page that matched exactly the thing you just cared about, estimating. So when you Google search for estimating software, you see an ad for estimating software, you click on the ad, you land on a landing page. The headline is estimating software. Is like, this is exactly what I'm looking for. And so, but I've not tested in this world to know how relevant that is. So example, fertilization weed control, you search on weed control, you don't search on fertilization weed control. Am I better off just throwing you to a page that shows fertilization weed control? Now, maybe my form presents alternative options, but I don't have the answer. That's why I was curious if you had any data on that.
Yeah, we used to do quite a bit of this a year ago, but once we changed the form, we stopped. And honestly, I 100% guarantee you're right that like one service, whatever you're saying in your ad, if it ties to the next page and it's that service only, you are going to have a better return. Typically, the cost in building out all of those is high enough to where it's just spend more money on ads and you'll be fine. Yeah. That being said, with AI, this is definitely more of a topic of like, well, can I spin up 10 of these different landing pages now in a matter of a day and drive differently? Certainly an option. So also the other part of it is with our instant quote form, we can capture abandoned carts. So if someone just starts the form, even if they see the price and bounce, I can capture that data. And so that is
you need an email address though, correct? You need them to at least have given you that.
Or phone number, one of the two. They have to have one of those two things. Yeah. And so that allows us to be able to remarket to them. So driving to another form or other forms that might not have that same ability, I usually don't get as many leads. And again, I'm just like maximizing for leads. I'm driving a lot of traffic. I understand there's gonna be a lot of inefficiencies when you're trying to spend so much on marketing. There's gonna be inefficiencies.
And I think the right thing for all of us to do is say inefficiencies are fine. Let them happen, because otherwise we're going to spin our wheels on lots of low value things. Again, back to my point, like I know it works, but is it worth the effort? It might not be worth the effort. That's why I'm curious what you were seeing in the data. I'll retest it. I'll test it for myself at some point. I'll probably test it more on pest control than I will on, say, fertilization weed control. Like on pest control, maybe I can hit on, they saw a roach, they're searching for roaches, or they're searching for wasps or something like that, instead of just saying generic pest control. That's where I would probably start my test, because that's a different emotional reaction. A roach is a different emotional reaction than, say, an ant versus termites that might cost me tremendous amounts of money. And so that's whether or not that's accurate, that's how I think about it. So
yeah. And just to be clear, in case someone clicks on an ad, I will likely do split tests of different landing pages. It just, my effort will probably be 5% towards that versus 95% towards different creative and adjusting very like the iterative process. And ultimately, when you're trying to grow quickly, or in general, any business, there's trade-offs. And so if I'm going to spend a whole bunch of time around landing page optimization and getting the button in the right spot, I'm a little further down the funnel, which is after the click I'm optimizing. I'll likely spend just most of my time on top of the funnel and optimizing clicks to that landing page.
If you've built a $1 million home service business, but you're struggling to get to the next level at $10 million in annual revenue, I've created a private community just for you. It's called Home Service Boardroom, because what got you to $1 million is all the work, the hustle, the grind, figuring out your leads, your website. But what gets you from $1 million to $10 million is learning the skill of leadership, finding other great talent and managers to work for you. If that's of interest, go check out MikeAndy.com/school or see the link in the description.